Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts with a little box and another offline product game review. This is Blaster Master Zero Trilogy for the PlayStation 4. To jump right into it, this physical copy here comes with 3 games on one disc. Now these games are Blaster Master Zero, Blaster Master Zero 2, and Blaster Master Zero 3, all on one disc. Now each game is treated as its own individual game, so when you pop the disc in, it will ask you to pick which one you want to install. Now you install each individual one. This is nice in case you're working with limited hard drive space or you're only interested in playing one of the 3 games. Now, like always, I play all my games completely offline, and I didn't experience any issues or problems. Now, each game is treated as its own piece, so I wouldn't go into details about this. Blaster Master Zero, the first one, did not have any updates at the time making this video, and it does come with the version 1.01 already on the disc. Now, Blaster Master Zero 2 as well did not have any updates at the time making this video, and it came with the update version 1.04 already on disc. Now, Blaster Master Zero 3 is sadly the base vanilla version of the game, so it had an update available. This update was 100 megabytes big and will take you to version 1.12 since the time making this video, which again is extremely disappointing that the third one is basically the vanilla version of the game and it is not the updated version like the 1 and 2. But as well as that, Blaster Master, the first one, does currently come with every single DLC and bonus content on the disc, as well as the same well goes with Blaster Master Zero 2. So again, extremely nice. Now, I did double check, Blaster Master Zero 3 does not have any DLC at the time making this video. So it doesn't have that on the disc, but there is nothing available, at least when I looked it up on Steam. So it is a little disappointing that the third one is outdated, because it does include some languages that the update includes for the third one. So when you play 1 and 2, you're going to have a lot more language support, but when you get to the third one, it doesn't have every language support as 1 and 2 did. So if you only don't know English or Japanese, you might be disappointed that it doesn't have like the Italian and Spanish that the other games have. Now, as like I said, I played all of them completely offline with the unregistered account, and I didn't experience any problems or issues for all 3 games offline. And as well, I was still unlocking trophies for all 3 games individually, which is extremely nice to see. And this was the really first time I really sat down and played Blaster Master Zero. But I want to point out, if you don't know, this is basically a remake of a classic Nintendo, the original Nintendo Entertainment System. There used to be a game called just Blaster Master, and it is actually a phenomenal game back in the day. It is very impressive what they did with an old NES or NES game back then. Well, this remake was supposed to be able to bring that game up to light and bring up more quality improvements from gameplay experience and graphics for better sprite works and stuff. And they did, in my personal opinion, a phenomenal job. They reinvented the story a little bit. It's still closely similar from the original, where you play as a character named Jason, and you're a human, and there are certain events that happens, and you get a pet frog, and you chase after that pet frog, and which leads you to the tank, and then the story branches off from there. I do know there is a Blaster Master 2, but I don't think the story was really connected between those, and I heard that the original Blaster Master 2 wasn't that good. So it was really cool that they went back and refix all this issue and do a reboot for the series, and they did a phenomenal job. The story is much better improved compared to the original. Of course, the gameplay and mechanics are greatly improved, the graphics are greatly improved, music is phenomenal as well, but some of them probably are not as good as the original, but it's not that big of a deal. It was really well done what they did here. I really don't have much of a complaint. The only things I could really complain about is, okay, so you don't know, the game does have voice acting, but it's only Japanese, so there's no English voice acting to the game. I just turned it off and just read through the game, and I just found that way more enjoyable than having to hear Japanese. As well as that the original first game, they closely remade the first game, and the game is extremely easy if you maintain your high powered level in the game. Basically in the gameplay, when you go running around Inhuman and running through the dungeons, you build up power, and every time you get hit, you lose power. Well, if you maintain max power, you have a devastating attack, and you can keep on abusing this attack. And it just basically destroys everything. All the bosses and enemies, they just get ruined. And it's you can breeze right through the first game, and that's not a problem. I don't mind games being super easy, but it is disappointing on that if you're looking for a challenge, though when you do beat the game, it does unlock hardcore mode or like this destruction mode or something like that. I can't quite remember, which basically just makes more difficulty in the game. Now you get to the second one, and they basically kind of improve the systems, and the game does slightly get a bit more harder. It's still not super challenging, but it's still harder than the first one on your first run. And they basically just streamline the system, make things a little bit more smoother and better, and overall experience is an improvement compared to the first one, in my personal opinion. Then we get to the third one, and the third one basically refines the gameplay even more, and it's for some parts of the game, I think that it actually is weaker compared to the second one, and in certain departments, like exploration, I think the second one did it better than the third one, and just certain little decisions they made are very questionable in the third one. And I don't want to get on it like it sounds like that the third one's bad, but my personal opinion, I think I enjoyed the second one the most out of all three games. And the overall story and direction they went with it was phenomenal. The only thing I'm going to let you know, and it is maybe a bit of a spoiler, but it's very important. When you get to the third game, there is a true ending to all three games. There is a secret ending to it. Well, the first and second one, all you have to do is just make sure you do everything in the game. Make sure you 100% the game, and you'll get the true ending for both the first and second one. On the third game, they kind of changed it up, where they kind of trick you, borderline lie to you, where they tell you to not use the space dimensional jumping method in the game. And they kind of hint at this, and that kind of implies that if you keep using it, you'll get a bad ending in the third one. Well, this is not true. You need to actually use the space dimensional jumping ability a lot, and once you use it enough, you'll unlock the opportunity to get the true ending. And how to get to the true ending is when you're at the final cutscene with the game screen will crack, and they don't give you no hints or anything like that, but you got to push L1 and R1 at the same time. This will activate your space dimensional jump, and once you do that, you're on the path of the true ending. It is a bit of a spoiler telling you this, but there is absolutely no way you're going to know to do these things, especially when the game hints at you to not use the dimensional space jumping too much. But you need to use it, and use it at a specific moment in a cutscene to get on path to the true ending, to get the complete ending of the Blaster Master Trilogy set. So it's very weird that they did that, but the ending of the game, the final ending of the true ending, is actually phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed the ending to this game. It was a great trilogy to finally finish and beat. I really enjoyed the series, the beginning to end. I enjoyed the mechanics, the graphics, the gameplay. It wasn't really super hard unless you get to the third one. The third one is really when the game starts getting at least somewhat difficult. But the overall flow of the game, the overall progression, the system, the characters, just the overall design of the game is phenomenal, and they maintain that beauty from the original game that came back out on the NES, and they maintain that experience phenomenally. In my personal opinion, this is a must pick up for any retro fan or someone who enjoys sprite graphics like I do, or wants to see a new modern twist to a classic that they did a remake or borderline reboot to the series with huge justice. This is a phenomenal collection to get on your shelf. It is also available on the Switch. I don't have that version, and I do have the standalone versions from Limited Run. I haven't messed with those, so I don't know. I don't think there are more updated versions. They're basically the same what versions they are of what this trilogy set. So you don't really need to go out of your way to get the Limited Run versions unless you're a big collector. In the end, buying this trilogy set that comes with all three games on one disc is a must pick up for your physical collecting. I personally really enjoyed this game. This is a phenomenal game to have on your shelf, and I'm really proud to sit down and actually play it, because it was just enjoyment for it. It reminded me when I used to play Mega Man, and it just really gave me that unique feeling. But what really stands out about the game is the change in dynamic, where you can drive the tank around with precision platforming and jumping around. But then you go into the dungeons, which is more like a Legend of Zelda, if you will, where you defeat the main enemy and try to explore the labyrinth of the dungeon. It is phenomenal what they did, and I highly recommend the game. Do not overlook it. It is definitely well worth to put on your collection. It is starting to get up there on price, especially the trilogy set. It's getting around $90 to $100 for the complete copy of the game. And I don't know what the limited run versions are going for, but it's definitely something you should really look into while you have the opportunity now, if what you see in the game is well with your interest. With the game also, for 1 and 2, having the complete updated versions as well as all DLC on the disc as well for 1 and 2. It is disappointing that the third one is just the vanilla based version of the game, but it did still play and work perfectly the beginning and end for me when I was playing offline with my unregistered account. So extremely nice to see. So like always, I will try to provide links down in the description. The link will lead you to the PS4 version. There is a Switch version. I do not know what that one's like, the trilogy set for that, so that's up to you whether you want to get this. I'm proud to have this on my shelf, and I definitely can see myself coming back through this game again because I just had a blast playing it. I just wish I would have known about that little trick about the space dimensional jump thing to make sure you do use it as much as you can, and at the ending to make sure you push L1 and R1 at the end of that cutscene when the screen cracks. I'm just telling you that because it will save you a lot of time and headaches. You're trying to figure out how to get the true ending in the third game, and you really want to get the true ending of the third game because it has a phenomenal ending to the game. And I won't spoil it what happens, but it's really well done how they approached it and what they did. So like always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope this unboxing video was helpful for your physical collecting, and this is a phenomenal version of the game. It's 1 and 2 is phenomenal, what you expect of the physical copy. Third one, sadly, is not the most updated version, but it's still a phenomenal game to play, even the base vanilla version of the game. So I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next unboxing video. Bye-bye!